Welcome back, everyone, to a story that proves, once again, Sheila raves about Deacon's lovemaking to a horrified Taylor, and Dylan kisses Will. In Deacon's apartment, he caresses Sheila whilst pretending she's Taylor. In her office, Taylor flashes back to urging Deacon to make love to his wife. At Forrester, Hope gets an update on HFTF from Jamie and Kingsley, who hesitate before asking her if she's seen Will. At that very moment, he's showering outside the beach house as Dylan watches and grins. As the girls at the office tell Hope how much they miss seeing Will around the office, back at the beach house, Dylan offers to help the young Spencer blow off steam. Turns out it's a cup of tea, over which the young woman divulges that she has a secret. She reveals that she shrunk his shirt. Will chuckles that she's ridiculous and has a gift for making things feel lighter. She teases that he should try on the shirt. Deacon and Sheila aftermath. Over at Deacon's place, Sheila marvels that the sex was great. They've never made love like that before. It was almost like he was making love to her for the first time. You don't say. When Deacon shows up over at Forrester, Hope's glad to get rid of Jamie and Kingsley and focus on her dad's love life, asking for an update on Taylor. They rehash the same debate they've had about Sheila umpteen times. Ignoring Steffi's recent ban, Hope promotes the idea of him and Taylor. Taylor can't quite believe it when Sheila busts into her office and tells her they need to talk. "Why are you here, Sheila?" The madwoman says she spoke to a waiter and knows she was with her husband. Taylor eyes the letter opener as Sheila advances toward her and hugs her. Sheila thanks the stunned psychiatrist for whatever she said to Deacon. Their lovemaking last night was fantastic. At the beach house, Will tells Dylan he feels he can get through this breakup because he has her, a true friend, to lean on. Dylan has a way to make him feel better. Saying she understands Electra and RJ leaning into their impulses, she muses that she has them too. They kissed, it's only fair that we do too. With that, she plants one on him. He clearly doesn't hate it. At Forrester, Deacon gives Hope the old, "It's complicated." She argues it doesn't have to be. He needs to be with Taylor. Deacon insists it can't happen. Taylor asked him to recommit to Sheila, and he did it. Hope thinks he's lying to himself. I think we both know the answer to that. In Taylor's office, Sheila raves that whatever she said to Deacon at Il Giardano, it worked wonders. She and Deacon had an amazing night of lovemaking. He worshipped every inch of her body. Taylor tries desperately to stop her and flashes to Deacon saying, "It's going to be you that I'm thinking about." Meanwhile, across town at Forrester Creations, the world of high fashion feels a million miles away from the gritty romance of Deacon's loft. Hope Logan is wrapping up a meeting with Jamie and Kingsley about the Hope for the Future line. The young designers are enthusiastic, updating her on the latest concepts, but there's a hesitation, a nervous energy between them. Finally, they pop the question, "Have you seen Will? We were hoping to run an idea by him." It's an innocent question, but it hangs in the air. Hope, ever the optimist, assures her she'll track him down. The girls even chime in mentioning how much they miss seeing Will around the office, his positive energy a bright spot in their day. But as soon as they leave, Hope's maternal instincts kick in. Her focus shifts from sequins and hemlines to the most important thing in her life, her parents' happiness. When Deacon walks in, she practically pounces. She's relieved to have the designers gone because she needs to focus on his love life. She corners him, her eyes searching his. "Dad, give me an update on Taylor. I saw you two at Il Giardano. It looked intense. What's going on?" And just like that, we're plunged back into the familiar, frustrating dance between father and daughter. Deacon sighs, giving her the old, "It's complicated." Hope, ever the champion of true love, argues it doesn't have to be. She sees it so clearly. He needs to be with Taylor. They are two people who have been through the ringer and deserve a shot at happiness. She's promoting this union with all the passion of a headlining designer, completely ignoring the dark cloud that is Sheila Carter. Deacon drops the bomb. Taylor, in a moment of clarity and self-preservation, told him to recommit to Sheila, and he did it. He went home, and he was with Sheila. Hope looks at him, not with disappointment, but with a knowing, almost mischievous glint in her eye. "I think we both know the answer to that," she says, implying that his body might have been with Sheila, but his heart and soul were elsewhere. She's not buying this recommitment for a second. And as Deacon stands there, her words echo the very truth he's trying to hide from himself and the world. The conversation is a setup, a prelude to the explosion that's about to happen just a few blocks away. And now we arrive at the scene that gives our video its title. Taylor Hayes is in her office, a sanctuary of calm and reason, a place where she helps others untangle their complicated lives. The last person she expects to walk through that door is the source of so much of her own turmoil. But there she is, Sheila Carter, bursting in with an energy that is completely at odds with the serene environment. Taylor's back stiffens. Her hand instinctively inches towards a letter opener on her desk. "Why are you here, Sheila?" she asks, her voice a study in controlled dread. What happens next is so bizarre, so utterly unexpected, that it takes Taylor and us completely by surprise. Sheila doesn't lunge for her, she doesn't threaten her, she rushes forward and wraps her in a tight, exuberant hug. "Taylor," she exclaims, pulling back with a radiant smile, "I have to thank you. I spoke to the waiter at Il Giardano. I know you were there with my husband, and whatever you said to him, it worked." Taylor is frozen, a deer in the headlights. She tries to interject, to stop this madness before it goes any further. "Sheila, please, don't." But Sheila is on a roll, a runaway train of misplaced gratitude and intimate detail. No, I have to tell you, Deacon came home last night and we had the most incredible, passionate night. It was like nothing we've ever experienced. He worshipped every inch of my body, Taylor. It was fantastic." With every word Sheila speaks, Taylor's world crumbles a little more. The color drains from her face. She's not just horrified, she's wounded to her very core. Because as Sheila raves about being worshipped, Taylor is reliving her own conversation with Deacon. She flashes back to him at the restaurant, looking into her eyes, his voice thick with promise as he said, "It's going to be you that I'm thinking about." The cruel irony is devastating. Sheila thinks she's sharing a victory with a friend. In reality, she is unknowingly twisting a knife in the heart of the woman Deacon was truly making love to. Taylor is trapped, forced to listen to a play-by-play of her own romantic fantasy being lived out with the enemy. It's a masterclass in dramatic irony, and it leaves us breathless. How will Taylor survive this torture? And, more importantly, will she ever be able to look at Deacon the same way again, knowing the passion he felt for her was physically spent on Sheila? But while the adults are entangled in this web of emotional espionage, a different kind of story is unfolding down at the beach house. It's a story of healing, friendship, and the fluttering of new, unexpected feelings. Will Spencer, still reeling from the heartbreak of his breakup, is trying to find his footing. He's just stepping out of the shower, the water a futile attempt to wash away a bit confusion and sadness. And watching him, a knowing grin on her face, is Dylan. She's seen his pain, and she's decided it's time for a different kind of therapy. As the girls back at Forrester lament his absence, here he is, very much present, with someone who has a plan. "Hey," Dylan calls out, her tone light and caring. "You look like you could use some help blowing off steam." Will gives a weak smile. "You don't know how." Dylan's idea of blowing off steam isn't a wild party or a dangerous stunt. It's far more disarming. It's a cup of tea. They settle in, the picture of calm friendship, and the warm beverage works its magic. Will opens up, confessing that he feels he can get through this breakup because he has her, a true friend, to lean on. It's a sweet, tender moment, and then, in the spirit of friendship and vulnerability, Dylan decides to share a secret of her own. She leans in, a playful glint in her eye, and confesses, Okay, I have a secret. I shrunk your shirt. Will's reaction is instant and wonderful. He throws his head back and laughs, a real, genuine laugh that chases away the shadows in his eyes. He tells her she's ridiculous and has a gift for making things feel lighter. She teases that he should try on the shirt. Back in the more complicated world of grown-ups, Deacon is still with Forrester at Hope. Their conversation has come full circle. He's clinging to his duty, to the letter of his promise to Taylor. She told me to recommit to Sheila, and I did. It can't happen with us, Hope. Hope, ever the perceptive daughter, sees right through the shield. She looks him dead in the eye and asks the million-dollar question. When you were with Sheila, who were you really thinking about? It's a question that doesn't need an answer. The silence between them speaks volumes. Deacon is left